There is an entrance back right, which may be curtained. Another door to the left must be a practical door. The furniture is simple, consisting of a small table towards the left, a chair or two, and a divan rather upstage on the right. On the table is a telephone. When the curtain rises, Gerard is standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and wearing horn-rimmed glasses. He is dressed in a lawn suit and a grey coat. His voice is cultured.
Well, tell him to phone me directly. I must know. Well, I expect I'll still be here. Right in 10 minutes. Right now. Goodbye. Yeah.
He puts down the phone and goes to the divan on the left. There is a traveling bag and starts packing. When he is thus engaged, another man, similar in build to Gerard, enters from the right silently, revolver in hand. He is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. He bumps accidentally against the table and at the right corner, Gerard turns quickly.
Oh, what's up? Well, this is a surprise, Mr.
I'm glad you are pleased to see me, but I don't think it will please for long. Put the father.
Well, this is all very dramatic. Not very original, perhaps, but
For trying to be calm and
nonchalant is the word, I think.
thanks a lot. Chosen stop being smart. I'll make you crawl. I want to know a few things, see?
Well, I know all the answers and I'll be glad to assist you, but before we begin, I would like to change my position as you may be comfortable, but I'm not.
Okay, sit down there, but no funny business.
Well, at last, a sympathetic audience. I will tell you the story of how as a child I was stolen by the gypsies and why at the age of 32 I find myself lonely in this Essex cottage and how
Keep it yourself and just answer my question. Do you live here alone? Well, do you?
well, and if I don't answer,
Well, you have got enough sense not to want to get here.
well, good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think, Mr.
Never mind my name. I like yours better, Mr. Gerard. What are your Christian names?
Well, Vincent Charles?
Do you run a car?
No.
That's a lie. You are not dealing with a fool. I know you run a car.
Well, if you know so much, then how can you say that? Well, yeah, I do possess a car that's in the round corner in the garage.
That's better. Do people often come out here?
Well, no one. Actually, yes, some people do take the trouble to visit me. There is that baker, that greengrocer, and that milkman, quite charming, but no one as interesting as yourself.
I happen to know you never suggest people.
Well, since you seem to have taken a considerable amount of trouble in knowing so much about me, since you know so much about myself, wouldn't you say something about yourself?
Well, I could tell you plenty. You think you are smart, but I'm the top of the class around here. I've got great IUs there, and that's how I've got here where I have.
And where precisely have you got? It doesn't require a great way to break into my little body.
When you know I have broke into your little cottage, you will be surprised, and this will not be a pleasant surprise.
With you figuring so large in it is understandable. By the way, what particular type of crime do you embrace?
Well, my specialty is jewel robbery. You can't will do me a treat. It is certainly a dandibus.
I'm afraid rules are far in between the miles of sex.
So are the cops. I can try here within a certain time.
What? Do you mean you leave with me? A trifle's an instant. You have not been invited.
You would not be here for long, so I didn't trouble to ask you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this is a big surprise. I'm gonna kill you.
Whoa. A little harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, I will be sorry to do it. I've taken a fancy to you, but it has got to be done.
But do I add murder to your other crimes? It's a grave step you're taking.
I'm not taking it for fun. I have been hunted for long enough. I'm wanted for murder already. But there will be no problem. They cannot hang me twice.
So to speak, you're planning to have a gratuitous double, but admitted you have nothing to lose, but what have you to gain?
I have got freedom to gain. As for myself, I'm a poor hunted rat. As for Vincent Charles Gerard, I can live a better life. I can go places and do nothing. I can eat well and sleep well without doing so much effort at the sight of the cop.
Well, In most of the cases, in the melodramatic cases, the villain is foolish enough to delay the killing long enough to get frustrated. Well, you are luckier than those villains.
I'm okay, I've got a reason for everything. I'm going to Wilson Charles Gerard. Now I know how he talks like. You can see, this is Wilson Gerard speaking. And that's not all. Get a permanent and take a look at me.
Well, you're not particularly decorative, I think.
No. Well, that goes for you too. I have only got to wear specs and I will be enough likely to get away with it.
And what about your clothes? They will let you down if you don't
And that will
care.
be alright. Yours will fit me fine.
Oh, it means that you have taken all the plan and made it. But you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you are luckier than most of the melodramatic villains. And that was not a point of remark to your intelligence.
So that's what you think.
Well, yes. Well, your plan is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity, I think.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Do you think this will help you?
Now listen here, I have got all this well planned. I did a job in town. When things went wrong, I killed a cop, and since then I have done nothing but dodging.
And this is where dodging has brought you.
No, it brought to me Ellisburg. That's where I saw you in the car. Two other people also saw you. They talked and I listened them. I thought it looks like a bit weird. A man of mystery.
Mystery, I propose to explain.
Well, you call your orders and sometimes you go away suddenly and come back just the same. That's what I all like to do. When I listened to you, this was a very luckier chance for me.
Well, that's good, but there's that cloak of mystery is what I'm supposed to explain to you.
As I said before, this conversation blows me.
Well, don't shoot me. Don't be a fool. If you shoot me, you'll hang for sure. If not as yourself, then as Vincent Charles Gerard.
What is this?
Well, that is your big surprise, Mr. Intruder. You see that here today, gone tomorrow, never see tradespeople, and like not meeting anyone. Do you think I'm a Sunday school teacher? You say that my habits would shoot you. You are crook, bro. I mean, literally, things went wrong with me. I set in the bullets and got away. But the police, they caught one of my men and got the thing the fool should have burnt earlier. But tonight I'm expecting trouble and I think they will come here. My bag's packed, ready to set off.
Oh, it is a bag.
Yes.
It's a gun. And what is all these things?
Well, that's a false disguise outfit and whatnot, false mustaches. Now, do you believe me?
I don't know.
Well, clear that mutton head of yours. Because if the police will arrive, they will for sure catch all of both of us. And let's go with me in the car. I can use you. If you find it's a frame, you've got your gun, you've got me in the car.
I'm not sure.
Well, I've got a man posted on the main road. He will ring me up if he sees the police coming. Okay, but I don't want to leave. Oh, there's the phone. Oh, they're coming. They're coming.
Boss, I'm watching you.
They're coming. Straight to here. Straight to the garage. Oh. Yes, speaking.
Let me out of here.
Yes, I think I won't be able to give the proper rehearsal today at time. I've had a spot of bother today. Quite amusing, I think. I'll put in my next play. Well, listen, can you call that sergeant, that friend of ours, to come up here at once? You will probably find him in the public bar. Yes, thank you.
Wow.